So thank you, President Green. Thank you to the Colby trustees, the trustees emeriti, to the incredible faculty that are here today. They're surrounding you. I don't know, I've been to a lot of commencements. We have 53 partner colleges for Posse. This is special. You've got faculty and the Colby community, the trustees, the administration surrounding you to celebrate you. Just you guys. It's only about you today. And I commend you and Colby for making that happen. It's beautiful. So this is an honor. And, you know, I'm getting this honorary degree. I get to graduate with you guys tomorrow. I love that. I get to graduate with the 10th Posse for Colby. I love that. And I just want to say it's a privilege to be here, and you're awesome, and I congratulate all of you. I want to dedicate the talk that I'm about to present to Peter Riley Rush Cronkite. His grandfather, Walter Cronkite, was my commencement speaker in 1987. So it's an honor to have that connection and to be here and to dedicate this to him. You're graduating at an interesting time. There are a lot of issues that need to be addressed, as you know, in this country, and they seem as if they're not going away anytime soon. But what I want to know is why we're so slow in addressing them. There was great prosperity after World War II. There was a feeling in this country of hope that we could have a better society. There was a feeling that we could have what they called a great society, and that a great society could be a reality for people who even hadn't experienced it before. We had the women's movement, the labor movement, the civil rights movement. All of these moved the country forward. There was recognition that change wouldn't be easy. And President Lyndon B. Johnson, made one of his most poignant remarks at Howard University at their commencement in 1965, exactly 50 years ago. He said, quote, "You do not take a person who for years has been hobbled by chains and liberate him, bring him up to the starting line of a race and then say, you're free to compete with all the others, and still justly believe that you've been completely fair. That, you have to think, thus, it is not enough just to open the gates of opportunity. All of our citizens must have the ability to walk through those gates. This is the next and more profound stage of the battle for civil rights," he said. "We seek not just freedom, but opportunity. We seek not just legal equity, but human ability. Not just equality as a right and a theory, but equality as a fact and equality as a result." End quote. There was an understanding that progress could be made through change in policy, but that the fight would have to continue. The work to ensure equality would have to go on. We knew we had to address poverty. We knew we had to address racism. We knew we had to address gender equity. So what happened? It is the year 2015, and close to 1/3 of the American population lives in poverty or what we call near poverty. That's almost 100 million people. 1 out of every 3 black children lives in poverty in the United States. And did you know that in the United States, the share of wealth owned by the top 0.1% is almost equal to that owned by the bottom 90%. Where do you read about this? Where do you hear about it and learn about it? You hear, in my opinion, way too little. We have somehow managed to get away with not talking about it and with hiding these things from any kind of scrutiny. It is the year 2015, and we do not see the diverse demographics of the country reflected in positions of influence and power. Consider some of these stats. 30% of today's American population is Black and Latino. But did you know that the United States Senate is 93% white? And by the way, it's 80% male. Only 6 of our Fortune 500 CEOs are Black, 10 are Latino, 9 are Asian. Only 24 are women, and some of those overlap. More than 90% of the partners of our major law firms are white. 88% of the presidents of our four-year colleges and universities are white. Only 22% of those are women. Think about the owners of our major sports teams. 98% of the owners of the NBA teams and the Major League Baseball teams are white. 97% of the owners of the NFL teams are white. And think about who the players are. It is the year 2015, and women still get paid less than men. In fact, women who work full-time earn only 77% of what their male counterparts earn. And that percentage is even lower for African American and Latina women. It is the year 2015, and the violence against people who are gay or transgender is at an all-time high. Same-sex marriage is still banned in 13 states. Why is change so slow? Somehow, we have become a society that opts to close its eyes. We look down at our cell phones instead of out at the world. Our media produces news for ratings rather than the sake of information. So why should you care? Most of you are you 21 or 22? In 20 years, the year 2035, many of you will have children. That's, not that far from now. It seems like it, but it's not. And you need a better world for yourself, but you need a better world for them, for your children. We are a nation built on the dreams of people who followed their heart, or fought for what's right, or strived for excellence. Martin Luther King, Lyndon B. Johnson, Gloria Steinem, people who took a stand for something. But this country is forgetting its way. We need leaders whose passion and commitment and intelligence and insight inspire us to act and care and fight. The issues are right in front of us, and they're stark. The United States was built with the idea that it could be a meritocracy, that everyone could have the same chance to succeed if they worked hard, if they studied, and if they cared. Whether we're talking about, whatever issue we're talking about, our collective experience is being affected, this is a fact, every day, by racism, bias, and misogyny. We can't let ourselves become part of a system that promotes stratification or exclusion. We have to figure out a way to be a national or an international community. These are the challenges that face you, and I have to say that the people who came before you have kind of made a mess of things. So the responsibility to do something now lies with you. Whether it's fair or not, we need you. So think about who is in your class, who's sitting in front of you. Is it Chai Ward? Who's sitting behind you? Is it Kayla Turner? Who's sitting with you? We need you. We need Sarah Bees and Chen Li and Ann Epstein. We need you, Juan Marathi. We need you, Brooke Fairbanks. We need you, Spencer Traylor and Blake Korn. We need all of you. In fact, can all of you just stand up for a second? You are the graduating class of Colby College. Look around you. You are an army. You are where our hope lies. Look at the almost 500 of you who care. You can sit down. You will become, you have to become, the leaders we so desperately need. You will be leaders in every industry, in every field, in research, in science, in medicine. In corporate America, we need you to become CEOs and senior executives who have enough insight to understand that corporations are not people, and people are not corporations. We need you to become the attorneys and fight for the social justice missions that have somehow become dormant. We need you to become educators, superintendents of school systems, and principals of schools to ensure that our children get a quality education, all of them. We need you to become police chiefs and police commissioners and fight for transparency and equal treatment for all of our citizens. We need you to become congressmen and congresswomen and senators and do away with the insane partisanship that cripples the democratic process. Today is your rite of passage for all the hard work you put into getting here. You're sitting in that seat. Yes, you are certainly graduating at an interesting time, and boy, do we need you. It's your turn now, and you can do it. You can become not just hardworking individuals, you can become thoughtful decision makers. You can become people who are educated and aware of what's needed in this country to restore our meritocracy and make sure that the American dream remains a possibility for all of our citizens. It's your turn, and we need you. Good luck tomorrow, and thanks for having me.